Hello everyone, welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. We are live on YouTube and on X tonight, so get yourself subscribed to this channel, get yourself involved in the live chat as we round up all things Rangers. My name is Scott Carney, joining me tonight is first of all Alistair Pearson. Hello Ali.
How we doing? I thought we were going to talk about maybe something a bit positive from last night, but no, Rangers had to go and ruin that, as always. But yes, good to be here and talk all things Rangers on a Friday night. I see Scotia's get out of this because he's had to work tonight, so lucky him.
Lucky him, yes, lucky him indeed. No, I don't mean that. It's always good to be like, but it doesn't feel natural when I don't do a podcast at 8 o'clock on a Friday anymore. Which just became part of the week in the best possible way. And Ross McLean, Ross, how are you?
Oh, good, thank you. Friday nights are the best night of the week. Every single week, always, 8 o'clock is only one place to be. I'm sure Scotia is tuning in from wherever he is in the world. I have no doubts about that. But no, it's very good to be on, mate. And yes, let's get straight into it.
Yes, plenty to talk about. Obviously, we'll go over a bit from last night as well as previewing the upcoming game against Falkirk. First of all, just a quick word from our sponsors, Lux Lift Events. Elevate your occasion. They've got loads of stuff coming up just now. Different bits for Christmas, different bits for weddings, etc. Loads of stuff to go and check out. Their stuff is genuinely top drawer. So their link for their description, the link for their social media is in the description for this podcast. I never get that right, ever. I always get it wrong. But yes, go check them out, and we thank them very much for their continued support of this podcast. We'll start, as we probably will, everybody will be sick of hearing about it probably already, but we're doing a live show in the Viceroy. It was our 5th anniversary show. We are 5 years old. Can you believe that? What a 5 years it has been. The ticket sales so far have been pretty amazing. I'm delighted with the response we've got. Genuinely, thank you so much to everybody that's already bought a ticket. The fact that it's payday today, I thought it might have been a good time to mention it as well. So you can go and get your tickets by scanning the QR code that is over my face just now, that will remain in the top corner of the screen for the entire podcast, or the link for the tickets is in the description for the podcast. I have also sorted that you will get an email confirmation, because a few people said that they didn't, so apologies about that. You know me, forever a professional at this kind of thing, so you will now get an email confirmation when you place your purchase for the tickets. But again, and I'm not just saying this, the pub is no massive. The tickets are very limited. It's not the same as like what the Loudon is. Tickets are very limited, so if you want tickets, please do not hang about, because they are going like hotcakes. Is that the saying people used to say? They're selling like hotcakes. That's what people used to say. But come along. We've got a few things up our sleeves, different things we're going to do. We're going to discuss the kind of pretty much the full 5 years that we've had as well. So we promise at least a laugh at some of Scotia's bloopers. That's for absolute certain. But just come along. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's a cracking pub, cracking people that run the pub, and we're very much looking forward, and we're very proud to be doing it from the Viceroy. So looking forward to seeing you all there. If you're having any issue, contact me. You know where to get me. Just give me a shout, and I'll sort it out one way or another for you. But so far, it's all going good. It's all going in the right direction, which is very good. Ali, buzzing about it, mate. You've been one champion at my year at Carney. Hurry up and get a live show sorted, mate. So I'm half expecting you to pull out now that I've sorted this.
No, I won't be pulling out, don't worry. No, since we did the one at the Loudon, which was a good success, and that was nearly 2 years ago now.
Yep. So it'll be about 2 years. Be about 2 years on the night we do it, I think. I can't remember what date it was on, but that'll be about 2 years.
Yeah, so yeah, it's long overdue for us to do it in the Viceroy as well. It's fitting as well in terms of that's the pub we're named after, the pub we drink in too. Cracking pub as well. Even if you want to come to the pub, not even just to listen to us, they've got a very good selection of alcohol there.
They do.
And if you like your beers
and soft drinks as well, Ross. I know Ross likes his soft drinks and that.
They're making a couple of mocktails for Ross, for him there. But no, they do have a good selection of draft beer. But no, looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to, I know he's not on the podcast tonight, but Scotia will be on it as well. too, which will be good too. And he's always a good laugh in the Viceroy. So yes, very much looking forward to it. So as Carney says, it is not the biggest pub. So yes, get your tickets.
Yeah, make sure you're not disappointed. And Ross, your Molly, the cat out the bag, mate, that it's your 21st week. So you should hopefully hit puberty that week, mate.
Don't kid yourself on. Still got a few more years before that. Yes, I do need to turn the ripe old age of 21 that week. But the most important bit will be that Friday night. That will be an absolutely cracking night, mate. As I say, I've never yet ventured to the Viceroy yet, which will be very much changing come the new year. So yes, get your tickets. You know where to go. It's going to be a class night, and yes, buzzing for it.
Absolutely, mate. Can't wait for it. Sloane Rangers, so 39 months. Absolutely incredible support. Thank you so much for the continued support. That is immense, genuinely immense. So generally, that means a lot. And yeah, Justin will know. We met Justin for a beer in the Viceroy. A really good night. Really nice to meet the Mules. It was good. And yeah, it's a brilliant pub. Generally, you'll love it one way or another. You'll love it. Right, we'll move on. Unfortunately, we need to talk about last night. Well, I suppose it depends on what side of the glass that you fall on. Ali, Rangers won, Braga won. I said last night on my post-match, mate, that if you'd offered me that at the start of the game, I'd probably have taken it. It would have got us off the mark. I expected Braga to be a decent team. I wasn't full of confidence going into the game based on the way that this European campaigns went so far. My opinion is that it's actually 2 points dropped based on the way that the game went and from the quality that we've seen, well, little quality that we've seen really from both sides across the 90 minutes. But what's your opinion? Is it a point gain, 2 points dropped?
Oh, it's definitely 2 points dropped. I was the same when it was Braga. I know they beat Celtic at Parkhead convincingly, so I thought it'll be a tough test for us, especially the squad we've got. But the way the game went, I was obviously going 1-0 up before half time, them going down to 10 men. Rangers should win that game. A Rangers team of last season, as we've talked off camera, would have won that game. But last night, it kind of sums our season up a bit, Carney. The problem is, and we'll get into it, we're just simply not good enough. The squad is not good enough. Probably one of the worst teams I've seen in years with Rangers, and we've spent the best part of 30 million. You'll get on to one guy that shouldn't be playing for Rangers. There's a long list of them in that team, but did they deserve to win that game last night, Rangers? No, probably not, because as we discussed going down Paisley Road, Carney, when it went down to 10 men, they never went for Braga. They went into their shells a wee bit. They went in their shells after when it went one each, but they're just not good enough, Carney. And that's why we are sitting with 1 point in the Europa League, and we deserve to be down there, because at this present point, that team is not good enough for, let alone domestic football, but definitely not in Europe.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really do. I think the based on the way that the game went, I still found myself just being disappointed, and I know I shouldn't be. And I said that to you as we left the game. I thought, why am I letting myself be disappointed? I know what this team are, but unfortunately, that's just the way that I felt. I just thought that's just a missed opportunity there. It's a result that we should have took care of business last night, and we just didn't. And I was just mightily disappointed. And look, I get it, and we'll get into all. There's numerous reasons for that. I do understand it, but ultimately, I felt on the night, I thought, you've kind of let yourselves down there, lads. The way that they went. You're right. They went into their shell after they went down to 10 men. We didn't put the foot on the gas at all, and it was a pretty weak one each draw, to be completely honest. Ross, your take on the game last night?
Yeah, it was not the most entertaining watch. It was not at all. Definitely, when you're playing up against 10 men, a good team scores against 10 men. You know, you look at it. You know, it wasn't too long ago. You go away to Bruges, we get a man sent off. Look what Bruges do to you. That's what a good team does. Whenever you've got that extra man advantage. At the same point, you looked at the other week that obviously Rangers and Celtic, we go down to 10 men and we actually look like a decent team, but I just feel that whenever you've got that opportunity, mate, you've got to take it. You've got to try and take it when you can. For the opening passages of the game, I actually think we're lucky to be, in the situation that we are. Some would even look at saying one each is probably fair. Jack Butland with 2 tremendous saves at the start of the match. Jelly, outstanding from him. And again, it's another situation saying how Jack Butland's the man to get all the praise. But yeah, it was just flat. It was just flat again. I feel that's going to be it is a recurring theme, but January, that window cannot come sooner. Jelly cannot come sooner. And there's a few players that we will get on to. Can you send them back to where the loan is coming from? Because we are seriously at the downfall of a few individuals just now. So yes, and for me, it's 2 points dropped, but it could have been worse.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I think we'll just go straight in and address the elephant in the room, Ali, or the donkey in the room, whatever way you want to look at it. Giga, I mean, it is my fault because I did say that he was going to be Player of the Year this season. So I'm happy to take that one on the chin. I think Scotia and I both said Giga for Player of the Season. Was he the only reason that we dropped 2 points last night? I would say no, but I would say the majority of the responsibility lies on his shoulder. I get that it was a wee bit windy. Yes, it really was. But the guy right now, Ali, is a liability. He makes mistake after mistake. You can see it coming. You can see it in his head that he's not getting any confidence. He made numerous stupid mistakes last night. One didn't cost us. Two obvious ones that I remember. One of the square balls that he played across to try and get it to Tav is pathetically poor, and he's not read the pitch in front of him, and they easily cut it out. But this header, mate, it just summed up everything about the guy for me. And I don't want to bash the guy because it's not his fault that somebody spent 10 million on him, but it is our fault that Stillwell's fault that we decided to bring this guy, and Martin's fault to bring this guy to Rangers. I'm baffled at how somebody's thought 10 million was a number to put on this guy. I really am. And I said it last night and I stand by it. We have to find a way to play without Giga playing because he will cost us. And ultimately, he's not our player.
No, he's absolutely terrible, Giga. You're just waiting for the bomb scare moment. Me and Scotia were talking second half when it went 1-0 and they got a guy sent off. We both looked at each other and went, but we'll have a bomb scared moment somewhere here. We'll do something. And it came with Giga. Giga wasn't the reason we lost the game, because after that, there was still a good 20 minutes where Rangers played against 10 men. But it was a catalyst in terms of, I think the players shrunk under that. As soon as we conceded that goal, it was as if they went, oh shit, what do we do now? Because Rangers...
It spooked them. It seemed to spook every single player.
It did, and as we know, Rangers middle to front offer zero threat at the moment. They don't look like scoring goals. So they probably thought, shite, how are we going to score? But Giga, oh my God. As you say, Carney, he's no our player. He's a loan player. There's a big group of these players that are out on loan at Rangers that we'd be hopefully looking to cut ties with in January if we can and send him back. He's right up the top of the list in terms of loan players, Giga. He has been... He's played one decent game, which was away at Hibs. I remember he had a rocky start and he grew into the game, and we said that game, Giga actually had an all right game, but you're always waiting. Because we kind of play it for the back at times, Giga with the ball at his feet is an absolute bomb scare. And then at times, I mean, he gets caught under that ball. Whether he's sleeping, I don't know, but he's a bomb scare waiting to happen all the time. And when we played Celtic in the semi-final, they targeted him. Definitely targeted him, pressed him all the time because he knew there was a mistake in him. And teams will target him, Carney. I said you come down the road last night, you look at our centre halves, obviously they're all out to at least January. Right now, I'd be looking at playing Tav at right centre half and playing Aarons at right back, because Giga at the moment, and I know we're only playing Falkirk at Ibrox and Sunday, but no game at the moment is a given for Rangers. We're literally game to game at the moment, but this guy is a bomb scare. And I know he went and apologised to fans last night, but Danny Rule should be looking at him and pulling him out of that team, because he's just simply not good enough to play for us, along with a long list of players that you might get into, but Giga, no. If we can send him back to Wolves in January, I would do it. I'll personally drive Giga to Wolves in January.
The Sniper, member for 36 months. Thank you so much, mate. Very much appreciated. Thank you for the continued support. Ross, look, it's hard not to bash the guy. It really is hard not to bash the guy. I know Ali's saying that it wasn't his fault, but I think it is. I mean, I think that moment just changed the whole complexion of the game. And I thought it spooked every player. And I even think it spooked the manager to an extent as well. And he must be looking at him and going, fucking hell, why have we brought this guy in here? Genuinely, why have we brought him here? He's, put simply, he's just not good enough, Ross. And we have to take him out of dodge, because even last night, as Ali was saying, at times when he had the ball, you could feel the nervousness is probably the right word, of the crowd when he was taking a few touches and moving forward. We're all going pass the ball, pass the ball, pass the ball. Reminds me a little bit, and I don't mean to give Amoruso any sort of disservice here, but everybody used to say it, but Amo used to go on mad runs when he used to start running up the pitch. Amoruso and everyone used to be like, pass the ball, Amo, but it's that kind of same feeling of just, don't you be doing that, just pass the ball away. But the errors just, it's glaring, mate. And you can see him, he's upset with himself, he's hitting the ground and whatever, and he has to go over and apologise to the fans. I don't think it really matters enough. Ultimately, I don't think he's good enough to play for us.
No, I completely agree. I think if we're wanting to win anything this season, we need to put the team first. For me, he needs to get dropped 100%. He's not our player. He's on loan. I understand that. I actually think Daniel might quite like him. I think whenever he came in, Giga was one of the first players that, Daniel started implementing the squads. I kind of like that and went, right, where's that one came from? Like, just kind of came in out of nowhere. But I think you need to look at it. He's on loan. He'll be gone at the end of the season. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea. Why doesn't our own player Siala get a chance? He's going to be here next season. If he can if he can stamp his position there, there's generally, when you look at that option, there's no point in playing Giga just now. It's resulting in the same outcome every time. And I know that's been harsh on the guy. I understand that. Yes, he's had some decent moments in the Rangers shirt, but you can't look at the sample recently and go, yep, he's your mainstay, he's your centre back. I know that we're very light in there, but Siala surely needs to get the call. He needs to get the call for me. Even Dujon Sterling, I know I won't be fit to start, but they were just something a wee bit different. I think definitely needs to.
Yeah, sorry, Ross. I think Sterling is probably a big part of the plans, and he's one that's fallen victim to just how amazing he is, just because he's injured. You get that a lot when players have been out for a long time. All of a sudden, they become a lot better than what they are. And I'm not being a disservice to Sterling, but I would imagine if Sterling comes back in, I would probably follow the route that Tav was Ali was on about, by moving Tav into centre half. I would move Tav into centre half and play Sterling at right back. Aarons last night I actually thought performed quite well at left back. I thought he was okay. I didn't really think he was in. He made one error that he made up for. Apart from that, I thought he was decent. I really did. But Sterling, I think, will be. But the guy's not played football in a long time, Ross, so it does concern me. It does concern me, like immediately getting flung back in when we are desperate to have some form of solidity at the back.
Well, that's the thing, and I don't want to completely write the guy off, but it would not surprise me if Sterling comes in and he's out again. He's just unfortunately one of these players, kind of like a Kamara Roof, that his body's just not nice to him. Like, he's had so many unfortunate scenarios in the past. So I completely agree. It's not, he comes in, he's not going to, I'm not saying he's going to absolutely set the header alight, but he's definitely, it needs to be an option better than Giga just now.
Scotia's a better option than Giga right now at centre half.
That's right. He's up at Howie.
He's a defender at heart, Scotia. You've got to remember that. You always need to remember that Scotia is a defender at heart.
Oh, of course. Don't let him convince you that he's away at work. He's practicing his clearances. I know Scotia too well for that. But there's definitely a need for a centre back shaped. There's a centre back shaped hole needing filled. If it's not going to be Siala, then for me, at least 2 in January, because John Suter and Cornelius don't look like they're going to be back, for that, the turn in the new year. So it's going to be Giga till potentially, way past the live show. That's when you know how long it is, because it was way past the live show. So we'll still be talking about it at the Viceroy. So, aye, Insiala, get him some minutes because we desperately need something new.
We need a different option, mate. There's absolutely no doubt. Ali, last night was the greatest hits of the Thelwell and Russell Martin tenure at Rangers. You can see the problems throughout the entire squad. We know the problems with the front line. I don't want to continue to go over them. We don't have any striker that knows where the goal is. We don't also create enough chances for them to have enough goes at hitting the target, but like Danilo's effort last night, poor. Shamiti, I don't think had an effort that I can remember off the top of my head, apart from one that he blasted from outside the box at one point, but I think it hit off a player and bounced away, but just not good enough, really. Shamiti, it's not his fault we've paid that amount of money for him. He's just not good enough, ultimately. He's nowhere near what we require. But it's the midfield, Ali, that doesn't concern me the most. I think all of it does, but it's was a conversation that keeps cropping up in different posts and whatever about the way the midfield is, different podcasts, different whatever you're reading. But I think it's consistently coming up that the midfield just doesn't work for whatever reason. And again, without bashing players, Raskin hasn't kicked a ball really since the game after he came back after Russell Martin. I don't think he's impressed in any game. Got a wee bit better in the second half last night, but first half awful. Barron is what Barron is. I don't want to be like overly generous or overly harsh on him. Barron was never brought here to be a starting 11. He's here to come in and do a job when the job was required, and to most of the time he gives an energy, Connor Barron, which is always why I quite like him, because he's just a hard-working player. He's not bells and whistles in like that. He's just a hard-working player that kind of doesn't stop. Very rarely do you see him kind of tiring. He just kind of keeps going and going and going. And Diomande, for me, again, I've made my thoughts clear on him last night. A guy, mate, I would just be so happy to see the back of in January, honestly. I've never got it. I don't get it. I have never seen it in him. I'm constantly left scratching my head at what he does, what he offers the team. He shows one wee flash in a game at one point, and all of a sudden he's the next Pirlo, and I'm like, he just isn't for me. He's nowhere near it. But the midfield as a whole, with the options that we have, we can't seem to find a combination that has any chance really of dominating games just now.
No, the midfield's disjointed for me. And last night he went with a Barron, Raskin, Diamandi, all quite similar, to be honest, type players. I agree. We talked about in the concourse at half-time. Raskin, for me, he's not really done much this season at all. He's actually a talking point for, do you drop him a game to give him a kick up the arse, or would it give him a kick up the arse? Because I thought Connor Barron, and I've had said my piece in Connor Barron about I think he's a good squad option for Rangers, and that's what I think he is. But I thought last night he was probably our best midfielder. I thought he showed legs, energy, he was moving the ball quick. Everything Raskin and Diamandi weren't doing.
Yeah.
I think we lack imagination in the middle of the park. There's nobody there that can really do something. I mean, you talk about it's usually a Raskin, Diamandi, and an Asgard or whatever it is, or a Mikey Moore, which is unfortunate he got injured, and it's just there's nothing there. Asgard, God, me and Ross tipped him to be. You're laughing about you tipped bloody Giga to be your man of the season. We tipped bloody Asgard. He's just as bad.
At least Giga makes his presence known. Asgard's not very good at that.
No, Asgard's running in bloody slow motion half the time. But no, it's Raskin's playing because he's probably our best midfielder, but he's not showing it. I would like Danny Rule to make a wee statement and pull him out a game, maybe this Sunday, just as a slight warning to him to say, look, you're not getting in here every week just because your name's Nico Raskin. And let's be honest about Nico Raskin. He's had purple patches with us since he's been here. He's not been brilliant all the time. But this season he's done nothing. So the midfield, you look through the whole team, the spine of the team, Carney, there's nothing there. There's really nothing. And I know we don't want to bash the top line you talked about there, but a guy on Twitter last night, I don't know if you've seen it, and he summed it up brilliantly. He said, along the lines, somebody in the comments will know, but he said along the lines of Chermati is that guy that Livingston take a punt on every season. You know that big guy Livingston's got up front every season, they take a punt on him. It just so happens we've spent £8 million on him. And I thought, that's bang on the money, that, because he just looks like that type of player. But now going back to midfield, I'm interested why, and this guy may not be the answer, but he'll bring energy. Lyle Cameron, we all thought because Asgard's doing absolutely nothing, Lyle Cameron could come in there and play the 10. He's not been seen under Danny Rule at all, which is interesting. Does he rate him or not? And the one I'd be looking at bringing in a number 10 at the weekend is Barami, which just shows how bad the bloody squad is that we're looking at players like that. Because I thought I actually offered something for 20 minutes when he came on last week, but
yeah, he did.
Aye, it's a sad state of affairs, Carl. The whole team is, and even. And this is one that annoys me. Our top line is absolutely powder puff to hell, right? The only guy we've got up in the top line that offers something is Gassama. And we're playing on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
To have Danilo on the left-hand side. You know my thoughts on Danilo. He's no good enough. He's crap. So why are we doing this? But overall, the team's just not good enough, can it? It's one of the worst Rangers teams I've seen going away back to bloody Pedro Caixinha. That was probably a better team back then, which is shocking. But it's the midfield guy.
Find out where Carlos Pena is and bring him back.
The problem is, you look at the bench and you look and you go, who do you actually bring in to fix it or to put a plaster on it until we get to January? I mean, Sterling, we've seen him playing in midfield previously for Rangers, but he's been out for bloody donkeys. Could he come in the middle of the park and add a bit of energy, a bit of physicality? Don't know, but you're limping game to game till we get to January. That's what it's like at the moment, and that's what it will be until we hit January.
Best description I heard of Chermati was like he's like a YouTuber playing up front.
That was Derek Clark. Derek Clark said that. Derek Clark, the Rangers, said that. I'll give him that.
That's actually quite good. That is actually quite good. That made me chuckle there. Ross, we started on the midfield and went through the entire team there, but it's hard not to. There's just nothing. Do you know what I mean? There's no quality. There's no cohesion. But again, and I'm not bashing Danny Rule. I'm not, because he's trying to figure something out. I did question the subs a little bit last night. I thought it looked like our plan was to get the ball out wide and get it into the middle, and I thought, why are you bringing Asgard on? Didn't make any sense to me. I thought, we took Danilo off. Why are you bringing Asgard on? Put on a winger. Surely that was just the most natural thing to do, was to just put on a winger. But again, he's probably just trying to figure out how to get something going with these players. The players are just so disjointed. And again, it all goes back to the recruitment under Thelwell and under Martin. They bought a bunch of players that really are not suited to playing with each other. And cards on the table, the quality is just not there. They're not, for the money that we've spent, you would expect a higher quality player in probably each position. But we've said it before, and I'll say it again, this team's worse than it was last year.
There's no chemistry at all, none whatsoever. You know exactly what they need. Need a fishing trip, and I know exactly where they can go. Honestly, I've got the location. If they want to know the details, get in touch, Rangers. I know exactly where to put you. But no, there's the midfield especially is one for me that just going into the start of the season, it's the one place I was like, right, we've actually got quite a few options there. You had a Lyle Cameron coming in. You had, there's some good depth there. That's when, Joe Rothwell was just in and you thought he was going to be the best thing since sliced bread. But now there's not anything there. And on the subs, why are you bringing off Barron? He's the one guy who looks, exciting. Why do you bring him off? That was a bit frustrating for me. That was probably your chance to, make a bit of a statement before asking. If he's not playing well, then give the players who deserve to play their chance. Keep Barron on for me. So that was very frustrating. And it's just, as you said, it's limping. It's limping towards the January window for something can happen. Up front, I absolutely adore Gassama. Genuinely, I do. I know he's been through a bit of a tough spell, but I said it before, I had me and Ryan Kent were best mates. I've got that with Gassama. I think he's unbelievable. But as you say, play him in his position. How many times the square pegs, round holes, etc. Just play him where he's best suited to play. And I thought that maybe Danny Rowe would have got that. Obviously, with him managing him at Sheffield Wednesday, that he would have thought, this is where this guy's best suited. But it's probably frustrating him more than Gassama that he's getting played at a position and he's not doing us any good. So, there's many questions to be asked. I understand that Danny Rowe's probably still trying to figure out his best starting 11 because we have the joy of trying to predict it every week. We can never seem to get it right. So, Danny Rowe, I imagine, is in the same boat. But it should be clear and obvious now which players are on form. Sorry, Giga, not your good self. And what players, what positions they play. Danilo's not a winger. Gassama's a winger. Just make it make sense. Just make it make sense.
And I think I can get what he's trying to do because he is trying to get the strikers to score goals. So he's thinking the more strikers I get in the pitch, I'll get one of them to score a goal, hopefully. But ultimately, it kills a very limited creative edge that we do have anyway. And that's not down to the manager. That is down to the players that you have on the pitch. And we just don't have that. We don't have anybody that's willing to make a killer pass, willing to not beat their man. We've got Gassama will take on his man, but I mean, the chance that fell to Danilo and he just smashed it straight at the keeper, I was just like, why are we persisting with this? Honestly, why are we persisting with this? And I don't care how good a dancer he does, that you should be doing a lot better than what he did there. I seen a comment there that said, will Ross wear his Germany top, we win the league? If you can guarantee Rangers win the league, I will wear anything that you want me to wear. I could not care. Think of the worst thing in the world, and I will sit here in it, not a problem at all. If it means that we win the league, absolutely take it. But yeah, just overall the quality just not there, and a disappointing result. The manager post-match, Ali, made comment to me that I kind of raised an eyebrow at. He said it was the most I've actually, as a professional, I've saved the quote and I've not got it open, so I'm just going to mumble a little bit until I open it up. There we go, I've done it. From the position we were in, there is no question mark that we are going in the right direction. Everyone wants to be quicker, but in football it is also small steps, and today I saw a huge step for 60 minutes, but now it's about doing that for 90 minutes, I think. And he said, made the comment along the lines of, it's the first that he's seen his side competitive in Europe. To an extent, I went, well, fair enough. I agree with what you said. It is the first time we have looked competitive. I think Braga are doing, if this is the form that they have been shown, I think they're doing very well to be as high up the league and the Europa League as they are. They are struggling domestically, though. That is for sure. They are not playing great domestically. But I was a wee bit like, yeah, okay, but you maybe again just my overriding feeling of disappointment after last night was you have to acknowledge that we have to win the games. You Rangers really cannot. So did you agree with what the manager had to say post-match? Do you agree that it was indeed progress?
Baby steps, slight progress. It's not good enough. He's not going to come out and say what we all think. We made a complete arse of it last night.
Yeah.
And we're simply not good enough. He's trying to get a bit of belief into this team to try and go on some sort of run domestically until January, to we can maybe get some new additions in to help along the end of the season. But I agree to him in points. For 60 minutes, were we competitive? Yes, I thought we were. Did we look like really scoring? Not really. There was a 10-minute flurry before the end of first half where we kind of had a couple of chances and in about 5 minutes of the second half. But apart from that, a lot of the ball, but we just don't look like scoring for me. So, yeah, from what he said, there's bits of it that I can understand why he said it, but were we competitive and everything? Not really. I mean, the only positive is we've got a point, and we've not got any points in the last umpteen games. So it is a positive if you want to look at it that way. But for me, we've got to win that game last night. We've really got to win it from the position we're at. I don't really want to hear we were good for 60 minutes and that. It's not good enough. But at the same time, I understand he doesn't seem the type of manager that's going to come out and slaughter us. Russell Martin, when he came in as a manager, instantly slaughtered players
Yeah.
he instantly threw folk under the bus. He doesn't seem that type of manager. He seems the type of manager that's going to put his arm around you and try and give you some sort of belief, confidence, whatever it is. So I understand what he's doing in terms of trying to get something out of this squad. But behind the scenes, when he goes home at night, I think you'll look at it the same as us and go, we should have won that game and we would an absolute arse it. But I understand why he's not going to come out and say that to the media.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just found that a little bit of a strange comment to make based on the kind of reaction within the stadium during the game. I thought, yeah, we were competitive, but it's not as if we were great. There was no real quality in it. I get that he is working with limited tools right now, Ross. I 100% totally get that. But ultimately, for us to have any chance of really progressing in that tournament, especially when they go down to 10 men, we should win that game. And I'll stand by that.
Oh no, definitely. There's for me, as I say, a good team buys a team who's down to 10 men. And we're far from that just now. So I think Danny Rowe, in his interviews, he has a good smile on him. You can tell he's a rather cheery lad. He is, but obviously I know that maybe doesn't go well in a presser when you do want him to maybe be a bit critical. You do want him to kind of look past the look past the positives. We've been screaming out for them, they're coming, and we don't want them anymore. But I know, we just want that wee bit for him to see what we see, if you know what I mean. For him to kind of look at it and go, aye, you know what? It's disappointing. It is disappointing. So I'm sure he does. I'm sure he's trying to just be professional with it at the end of the day. He doesn't want to throw his players on the bus, especially when he's just in the door. He doesn't want to maybe make that bad impression. But I do agree, there's probably that element of, the fans will maybe disagree slightly just because we've seen Rangers teams in the past who, I've seen before we came on. If you have a Tierney, if you have a Dessers, if you have a Igaman, they're beating Braga. They're 100% beating Braga. The fans are frustrated because of that. The fact that we went back the way. So there's maybe a few things that would maybe frustrate the fans, hearing and things like that. But I think he's probably just trying to make the positives out of a mess situation. So it is very frustrating. Obviously, coming away, as you say, it was 2 points dropped for me. But I get where he's trying to kind of muster any sort of positives out of it at all.
Yeah, for Rangers really now, any sort of chance, we have to win every single game now. We're going to have to win every game and hope that other results go our way. Because I think that would leave us, when the games are left 3, so we'd be 10 points. So we would be on the cusp, I think. What would you say, Ali? What was the cut-off last year? Was it you or Scotia that said that?
Yeah, last year, 10 points. We need 10 points to get in it. But then goal difference comes into it as well. So it's... we would need to win every game, Carney, and score quite a few goals as well to have any sort of chance, and games would need to go for us.
We're really good at creating goal scoring opportunities.
No, I know.
Can prepare yourself for a barrel load in the next game. I think it's Ferencváros that's next away. Is that correct? I think
it's the next game. Budapest.
So a tough game, but a quick look at the league standings now. If we were on, say, even 9 points, you would be joint 10th, and then kind of under that. It's going to be tight, and it's a tall ask for this Rangers team to win all 3 games now. But that is what's going to be what's required. And yeah, Big Phil was saying last night's actually 12 empty seats. That wasn't a sellout last night, not even close to a sellout last night. There was plenty of spaces round about, and I think it's just the feeling around the club in Europe just now. Ultimately, it's not Danny Rill's fault, but it is the fault of the ones that have now left the building, and of course the owners for just how bad that they've got at the start of this season. That's for sure. We'll finish up with a quick preview of the Falkirk game. Falkirk, when I actually checked their form, I was like, they're actually doing better than I thought they were. They're sitting 6th just now. They've played 13, won 5, lost 4, drawn 4. They have have scored more goals than Rangers have this season. They have conceded 10 more than us, however, but they have scored 2 more goals than we have this season. Coming off a win against Dundee United, that's correct, isn't it? They won the last...
Yeah, 3-0. 3-0 at Tannadice.
A coupon buster, aye. So their last game was a 3-1, 3-0 against Dundee United. Before that was a 1-each draw with Livy, a 3-1 win at home over Kelly. They were beat 4-0 off of the other team in this city, and they won 2-1 at home before that to Dundee. So a mixed bag for sure. Ali, I was saying when I checked, I was like, fuck, they're right behind us. I was expecting to see like them and Livy at the bottom, kind of round about there. They're having a cracking season, mate. You can't really take in away from Falkirk. They would be delighted to be in that position right now. At the start of the season, if you offered it to them, I think they would be delighted at this time in November. Look, I'm always going to. The Rangers are playing at home against Falkirk. I only expect one thing to happen when we play again at home against Falkirk, and I expect Rangers to win. However, this will be another testing game. It will be a difficult game. This will be very much like Livingston, I think. I don't expect to see Rangers kind of full flow and convincingly beating Falkirk. However, I'm at the point where I don't know what I will see from Rangers. We're not really sure because it's going to change from game to game, because right now, as a club, Ali, and as a support, we are going from game to game.
Yeah, we talked about Livingston last week, and I think most of us said that it should be routine. It should be a convincing win for Rangers, and it wasn't. As I said in the post-match, you get slapped in the face with the reality of how bad that squad is, and I think this will be a tougher challenge on Sunday. Falkirk, as you say, have been going well. Fantastic result away at Dundee United, beating them 3-0. Played very well against us in that 1-each straw that ultimately Russell Martin paid the price for, but yeah, it's. I honestly don't know. I think it'll be a slog on Sunday. I really do, and I agree. And what we've been talking about, it is just one game at a time. Tick it off, move on. That's what it's going to be to January. It really is. You just look at the squad. You look at the options. There's no much there. There's really not much there. In Falkirk, John McGlynn's their manager. I think they'll come and have a go at us on Sunday. They've got nothing to lose. They had a go at us at their ground, and for the first 20-30 minutes, Rangers were all over the shop, if you remember that game. Falkirk battered us for 30 minutes, and we were lucky to get back in that game, and ultimately Falkirk probably should have won that game in the end up. So if you're Falkirk, you're coming to Ibrox, it's a free hit. You come and have a go at Rangers, and I think they will have a go at us. But Rangers should have enough to beat Falkirk. They really should. But then you look at what we've got. Does that squad convince you that they are going to beat Falkirk? No, probably. So, as you say, you just don't know what you're going to see on Sunday. But I think we may have enough, but I think it'll be a slog. I don't think it'll be enjoyable again going to Ibrox. But again, as I say, if we can get 3 points, that's all I'm looking for. 3 points until January. I'd love the performances, but as long as we get 3 points, I don't care at the moment. It's just hypocritical because we are talking about how bad the team is, etc. But it's all about 3 points, and that's what it is on Sunday. 3 points, and move on to the next game.
Yeah, and it is game to game, and I get it, mate. It is hypocritical when we do want to see a performance. It's one of those things that you just expect to kind of see the performance. I think there is no doubt, Ross. I think Sunday is all about just winning the game, and if it needs to be another very ugly win, then so be it. But we've said it before, in the league especially, you kind of take last night out of the equation. In the league especially, Danny Rule right now just has to almost limp us to January, drop as little as points as possible, and just win football games. I know that's easier said than done with the squad that we have, but he's managed it so far. But I'd expect maybe a tough watch on Sunday. That's so positive, isn't it? I expect Rangers to be fucking amazing, and honestly, they're going to blow everybody away. You're not going to believe it. Shamati's going to finally find his form. We're going to murder them, but I can't see it, mate. I can't see it.
No, I know. I love that optimism myself, but I can't see it, unfortunately. Sunday's the biggest game of the week. Sunday, it makes last night's game not look as significant as it maybe should have been. Falkirk, you're right. They'll come and have a go. When they were good against us, they were good for it. But I still think if you're Rangers, you can't be fearing a Falkirk. I'm sorry, I know they're playing well, but you need to. You're at home. You can never ever fear playing a Falkirk. So we need to, as you say, but it is that consistency that we need. Those 3 points, which we have got. Obviously, the Sunday would make it 5 in the bounce in the league for Danny Rule, and it's ultimately if it's 1-0, if it's 2-1, that's fine because. But if we get to January, as I say, you don't know what the table's going to look like. If we keep doing our thing, if we keep doing our focusing on our own game and keep picking up points, and fate will lie where it lies. Just deal with the things that you can deal with. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously Sunday at 2:00. It's a rather strange one, but we shall be there. We shall be there. And I don't know what Scott Arfield is, by the way. Like in terms of like Falkirk, I was like, big miss a Saturday night back at Falkirk. I don't know if he's been in and about the squad. But it'd be nice to see him get a wee ovation at Ibrox on Sunday. That'd be nice.
I don't think he's been starting for them. I think he's maybe been coming off the bench at times. I've seen him come off the bench in one of the games. I can't remember what game it was. So I don't think he's really starting. Look, Scott Arfield's at that age now, and there's no disrespect to him. It really isn't. What I would do for a Rangers version of Scotty Arfield right now, honestly. I would honestly give my right arm for it. I really would. But ultimately, you're right, mate. You're right. It's just got another game that Danny Rule has to find a way to win. And that's what we just have to keep on doing in the league. You're right. We don't really know what's going to happen in terms of the league. It's one of the craziest seasons that I can really remember in terms of how we've started and then how good Hearts have started, and now Hearts look like they're coming back towards the rest of the pack. Celtic haven't been their best and they are dead set and setting the world on fire just now. So yeah, but we just have to keep picking up wins and then see where we are when the dust settles at the end of January, and hopefully the recruitment can be a positive one. I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket of January's going to fix everything, because it's a horrific window to do things. However, I still would expect us to sign at least 3 players that can come in and make a difference immediately, and it's 3 players in the spine of the team: a centre half, a midfielder and a striker. We need that whole spine to be much better than what it is right now. But January is going to be a tricky one, so I'm reluctant to put my eggs in that basket and think that that's just going to fix everything. But if Danny Rule manages to get there with dropping as minimal points as possible, then he's done his job for his first bit in charge. He's definitely done his bit in that regard. On that, Ali, we'll finish with our team predictions and our scores, so you can go first, mate.
Oh, I think he might change it slightly. I think he has to. Butland, Aaron's at right back, Tav at right centre half, Fernandez, who has been all right since he's come in.
He actually has been, mate. Yeah, you're probably right to stop and talk about him. Yeah, I think Jiga's mistakes spooked him a little bit last night, but apart from that, he was fine last night, like absolutely fine.
Yeah, he's a big unit. He's a threat in opposition. Goals, we've got corners, etc. I think he may be better with somebody good beside him to talk him through the game, i.e. a Davy Weir type, if you know what I mean, just to talk him through. But he's been all right. A couple of times he's been a bit lackadaisical on a ball, but he's been all right so far. So he stays in. Magoma comes back in at left back.
Yep.
Oh, the midfield. Bugger me, man. Christ. Connor Barron starts. If it was me, Cooper's crying in the background here because
hi, Cooper.
He's if it was me, I would drop Raskin to make a point to him, just to say you're not a cert every game, but I don't think he will. So I think it'll be Connor Barron. I think it'll be Raskin. In front of them, oh God, can he be Asgard? Because he's, honest to God, he's push. I would like to see a Lyle Cameron in there again for a bit of energy. Well, I think we'll see it? No, I think Asgard will be there. And then the top line will be, I think Barami will be on the left. I think he'll keep Gassama on the right, which again, I prefer Gassama on the left. And I think he might give Miovski a try through the middle to see if he can get anything from someone. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going to go a slog. I'm going to go 1-0 Rangers.
Oh, God.
And Miovski will finally get a goal after all this time. But yeah, but I'll be honest, when the team lineups come out on Sunday at just before 1 o'clock, it wouldn't surprise me if there's something completely different there. But for me, he's got to pull a few players out there and put some other guys in and see if we can get a tune out of them. Talk about wee Curtis as well. Could he get a game? I know he said he's been injured and he is in his plans, but I know you talked about him going down Pedro Carney. He's a good impact player to bring on, but he's got to mix up a wee bit for me at Ibrox. But I will go 1-0 Rangers.
Well, your starting 11 selection, I probably agree with, mate. I think the midfield three, I think you keep Raskin there because I don't think he fancies Rothwell. I don't think anybody really does fancy him, and that's the only other option I would see for him. Barnes as well would start for me. I did think maybe Barami at the 10, possibly. But I say when he featured again, Livy did start on the left. So yeah, there's maybe a shout at that. I would, if it was me, I would be getting Gassama back on the left and I would play Curtis on the right-hand side. Put all three of the strikers in a hat and whatever one comes out, play him, because there's none of them that I would play over the other right now, and that is just how bad it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to say?
Who's the young boy that we had up front during the pre-season
Gentles.
Games? Is it Gentles? Is he not out on loan somewhere? And we don't recall him.
Just give him a go. See if he knows where the goal is. Yeah, but honestly, put any of the strike. Just put their name in a hat. Whatever one comes out, just play that one, and hopefully that's their day. Hopefully it's on their day. So I'll go for a slog as well, and I'll go for 2-1 Rangers. And I'll go for whatever striker decides to start, or whatever striker comes out the hat. I'll go for that striker to score first. Ross, yourself?
I'm going to go for Butland, Tav. I'm going to go a back four of Tav, Fernandez, and Ciala comes back in for me. Got to get him in. Let's bring him in.
I thought you were going to say Giga there, mate, and I was like, are you kidding on, Ross?
No, number 4, John Lundstrom. He's your centre back for Sunday. No, it's Ciala for me, and we go back left back. And then I'm going to go your midfield, Raskin, Barron. I'd love to see Lyle Cameron. I don't think he's going to play Cameron. I'd absolutely love to see him in there. And then I think Gassama on the left, Ant-Man on the right. We've been missing goals, so chuck 2 up top. I'm going Miovski and Chermiti up front. And I think it's going to be... I've put 3-1 Rangers, but there was a comment that came up earlier on that rightly so mentioned, where do you see us scoring 3 goals? And I sat back and went, you're spot on. You're genuinely spot on. So... I think 1-0 is probably a wee bit more realistic, but we'll go 3-1. It's a Friday night, start the weekend, 3-1. Let's be having you with Miovski scoring the goal that he did the last time against Falkirk. And yes, it'll be 5 in a row. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, really, ultimately, is for us to get 5 league wins in a row. Obviously, that is all that I want. But it's a concern when we're seeing what we are seeing. We have a strike force that is pretty much no effect in the game whatsoever. And, the rest of the team's not too far behind that. So to just win, Rangers, just go and win the game. That would be absolutely lovely. We'll take it no matter what form it comes in. Just try not make an arse of it. So interesting to see the team lineup. I think it will be interesting to see. But yeah, we'll be there. 2 o'clock, as I say, 2 o'clock on a Sunday, random. Is it on the telly? Can't it be? Why is it 2 o'clock? It must be something else on in Glasgow. Is it on the telly? No, it won't be on the telly. Unless Premier Sports have picked it up. Maybe that's why it's 2 o'clock.
Celtic on the telly. They're away to Hibs. I'm sure they'll be on the telly.
All right, so don't know. Yeah. Doesn't matter. We'll be there. So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Do very much appreciate it. Remember, there is still tickets left for our live show. Make sure you grab them before they are gone. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you to my 2 fellow podcasters. Ali Pearson, thanks mate.
No problem. Just going to say I'm looking forward to Sunday, but I'm not really looking forward to Sunday, but I will be there. But yeah, as you said there, just winning Sunday, Rangers. That's all. Interesting. Hearts go away at Motherwell on Saturday before we kick off on the Sunday. So it's interesting to see if they can get back on the horse and get back to winning ways to see if they are serious or not. So that'll be an interesting one. But yeah, just win Rangers on Sunday, and that'll do me.
That'll do indeed. Ross, thanks very much.
Thank you. Yes, hope everyone has a good weekend when it comes. And yes, it was a big weekend in the Premiership. Honestly, keep an eye on that Hearts game, by the way. I think, as we say, keep an eye on the table, but there could be some points dropped at the weekend. So got to capitalise on that on Sunday at 2 o'clock. But yes, we shall speak to you all then for a post-match.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be back after the game on Sunday. Win, lose or draw, that's for absolute sure. Until then, enjoy your weekend. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. And I say we'll speak to you hopefully after Rangers win the game. And that's all we're really looking for, win the game on Sunday. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Good night, everybody. Cheers.